truth.
No chaser.
Welcome to Truth No Chaser. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Frank.
And this is a shot of truth stirred with bold opinions, reversing the miseducation of the Black community as it relates to health and politics.
And today's topics are the shot, the chaser, the hangover. 3 keys to podcasting.
Branding. Let's get into it, guys. How has this process been for us?
So branding was unique for us, right?
Yes.
Right down to the start of the name. Right.
Years.
I'll share my unique connection, as sure everybody has their own connection to. You know, the name is the major part of branding. Of course, it's not the only thing to branding. You got colors, you got logos, you have your actual content, your swag. But to me, the name was cool because my personal connection was I looked at TV. I looked at when, you know, like Tavis Smiley was at the last educational thing on BET to go off the air. And since then, there's been nothing for Black people giving information. I won't say nothing. I won't discount the people who are, especially now doing this thing, especially post 2020 when we had so many informational, podcasts. But for me, there's still no network. There's no multi-million-dollar show. Everything for us is about entertainment, which is cool. We're some of the historically best entertainers in the world, but that's not all we are, and that's not all we need, right? We need information about our health, our mental health, growing our families. Like we had to, we had emotional folks talking about emotional abuse. We've had one of our favorites, Dr. Lippman, on uterine fibroids and not needing a hysterectomy all the time, always being in the way. We had one of my other favorites on, Dr. Millicent Finney, on talking about ADHD among African American children. So it's the truth, and we package everything as the truth, factual from experts. Truthful opinions, even sometimes. Right. But it's information for our community that we need, right? And we are growing to be that resource, and that's the thing that we continue to try to brand ourselves on, and everything that we do in our wonderful content.
Yes,
right there.
and be like with basically what you're getting at is being true to your brand and what you're going to stand for. So that is probably that's probably the most important part. What I got from branding, my experience with the branding is something that you had mentioned, that logo, man, that like that shell shock, of when it's time to start paying for stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Like for all you out there that want to, think of savvy names for a podcast or stuff like that. There's a reason why, like, you got
podcast business, anything, any kind of business.
There's a reason why you got, you're right, $1 million worth of game.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, you don't have a, who's the boss? right. You have a who's the boss podcast, and then you realize how much that apostrophe and that question mark course and shit, and then you like wait, time out. You know what I'm saying? We had to come in Jesus with the semicolon hour. You know what I'm saying? So that was like kind of like a eye opener too. I didn't realize just how detailed it was when it came to just that part alone. Yeah. Not to mention what Jay had already
and just in case somebody's watching, they're not sure, we're talking about the trademarking process with the branding of Truth No Chaser and the extensive work we had to do for it. Thank God for Tiffany, because she did all the the legwork for us. But it takes a lot to go into that, and it's money. You got to spend that money.
And that was important to it. That was an investment, not only in ourselves, but so we didn't pray before this show, but we prayed before our shows, and
conference calls.
Our conference calls when we go over our content and our guests before and after every call, because we understand that God gave us this, right?
Right.
And God gave us this God never gives us anything for ourselves; He gives it to us for our people. So we made an investment on securing it. There's straight No Chaser YouTube. There's Straight Talk No Chaser podcast. There's another very successful Black podcast out there with similar names and stuff like that, but none of them, and this is no shade, they're not who we are. They don't do what we do. They don't deliver what we deliver. So we had to secure our brand so that no one could take it from us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that it can march forward. So,
and to piggyback off what you just said, and no one looks like us because we actually live by our name. And it's not no fluff though. We actually in our everyday lives, we actually live real talk, truth no chaser.
Right.
You meet any of us on any given day, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? We are who we are, and that's what brings us who we are in our name and brings us more authentic about our lives.
Whereas most people it's just a drink reference.
Right. It's like, oh, that's a cool name, but no,
that's fun.
Right, but we live and walk it, and as it became a podcast, we actually are more intentional about that because when we're out and about, we represent not just Frankie, Jay, and Ashley, but we represent Truth No Chaser.
And let's talk about branding a little bit, right down to the colors: red, strong,
right,
bold, right in your face; black, strong, white, broad, pure, so to speak, right? So you always see, and then consistency in that brand. We'll get into consistency a little bit in a different avenue, but you'll always see Truth No Chaser, or you'll see it abbreviated like you see it on our mic stands. Always present your podcast in the same format so that it's recognizable all the time. They see that
see that Wi-Fi,
that little adopted Wi-Fi sign. It's different from the original one, right? But it's ours, right? And they know what it is. You know, they see our shirts. People who don't know what it is, what's that? Oh yeah, I'll tell you what it is. This is our brand. Wearing it,
that's our swoosh. That's our Nike.
That's
our
it.
Nike logo. That's our Jordan logo. You know what I'm saying?
So, if you are interested in if you have a brand and you're interested in trademarking that brand, do as we did. Reach out to I guess it would be a trademark attorney, a trademark or patent attorney, because it is not something that you want to hop on LegalZoom and try to do yourself.
Right.
It really does require expertise, and it does require a pretty penny. But if you're serious about your brand,
and it's patience,
Tiff, what's her name? Andrea. Shout out to Andrea Evans. Yes.
Evans. Shout out.
Our attorney.
Into us, what, 2 years, Tiff? 2 years.
2 years.
So at any point in time, somebody could have came along and had more money and then split it up and got our name from us. But yeah, you got to get on that now if you want a podcast.
So another key to podcasting, content. And I'll start that one off as the program director, right? Let me tell you something. Like, for one, we have a fairly unique way or system as far as us coming up with these topics, right? They're thrown out and we legit have discussions over it. You know, sometimes I watch a podcast, you could tell they ain't have nothing better else to talk about. But going back to piggybacking on what Jay said originally as the branding, you know, and standing true to what you believe in, if it's not going to be helpful and it's not going to be someone's truth,
right,
then, you know, we're not a blog, we're not a gossip or a gossip column. You understand? We're literally here to help educate, not only educate, self-educate and educate others, and be of inspiration and motivation to others as well, who may be going through what it is that we want every show to be that. I've definitely have gotten from other friends, oh, this would be a good topic, or that'd be a good topic, because it's, you know, the mess of the day.
It's trendy.
It's trendy, or it's the mess of the day. And, and I'm happy that we kind of, like, you know, sometimes it's fun to hop on those things and you want to talk about them and stuff like that. But, you know, in this day and world, day and age, the internet, you know, it's you know, here today, going tomorrow, as far as the topics is concerned. Like, you know, it's popping now, and then tomorrow is, you know, it's old news.
Well, the word that you're really keying in on is focus. You want to have focused content, right? So whoever you are or whatever your podcasting is, your podcasting might be about retro Jordans. Your podcasting might be about, bullying or overcoming. You know, no matter what it's about, it's you have to have a target audience, no matter what you're selling. I don't care if you're selling t-shirts, you have to have, if you're selling t-shirts outside of a concert, then your target audience are people going to the concert. Right. So there's no sense you getting t-shirts outside of a New Edition concert and then going to the gas station to sell them. That's not going to do you as good, right? So all of your efforts has to go towards targeting an audience and then growing from there. And those who've been with us, and Ashley can kind of speak on this a little bit more too, those who thank y'all who've been with us on this journey as we've been maturing and developing.
Right.
You know, we've tried a lot of different things, right? We always had going back to what we started with that was true to us, but we said, oh, let's try this, and oh, this might get some views too, and since people like us, let's give a little, and we took on some of those friends' suggestions and some of our own ideas.
We got a grass wall, nigga. We got a grass wall, nigga. Right, hey, you know recognize, you know what I mean?
But then finally we had to say, okay, what are we, like, the things that we delivered on were those things that were really touching people, or people really say, that really helped me. The shows that people stop me in public, or people that might be friends or associates say, I checked out your podcast, that one about, that's where we say, okay, we are delivering to a certain target audience who has a certain need to hear certain information, and now we can naturally grow and expand from there and grow with that audience, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a big Nas fan, right? Anybody who's a big fan of anybody that's from the 90s is still around, not so many of them, but the mastery of like Nas and Jay-Z, for example, is that their lyrical content has grown up with us. It went from standing on the corner selling drugs to now they're talking about family stuff. In their rhymes, they're talking about raising their children. And we grew up with it.
Wealth.
And that's how we're growing up with our audience. We're sharing your concerns and delivering them.
Absolutely.
I think that's big because when we first started, as you said, we tried to try different things. We were all over the place, but we still kept trying to, bring information.
Right.
And that was the then we were in the trailer at KBCN, and we were at the dark. We had the dark black drips behind it. You know what I mean? We were trying just to get out there. But now I feel like in this season 1, we started. Let's sit down and figure out like how can we bring people they want to hear. Let's be solution based. Let's bring what they need to hear. And we started focusing on that because when we do anything, it doesn't come across authentic, and we never want to be like we're not authentic.
Right.
It's kind of like forced. Oh, well, that's hot. That's trendy. Let's do that. Nah. When it's real, when we live, when we breathe by, that's when it comes across like, they really are trying to do something. And we're not just talk about it. I'm saying, so we had topics like the mental health. And then example, me and Frank, we sat down with our parents.
Right.
It, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any realer than that.
Real recognized. Real recognized. Speaking of the public, shout out to my man Jason Housen, who gave me a crazy testimonial. You know what I'm saying? In my DM or inbox on Facebook, and I mean, the way he really honed in on the conversation with my dad, the addiction show. And his journey right now is just unbelievable. He's very transparent. He posts, when he relapses, he posts. You know what I'm saying? So right now he's going through a nice sobriety journey, and
he's
doing a really good job, man. He posts they become like his brothers. The people that's in the program with him because he's and so shout out Jason Housen, man.
Yes,
bro.
Prayers up
for real.
And a little plug there will be more episodes of the addiction series that will be appearing on season 2 and the addiction series all separate from any other season. They'll be appearing on your wherever you listen to your favorite product, wherever you listen to Truth No Chaser. It'll be on your Spotify. We're on the lookout for that.
So those who are trying, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jay.
I'm gonna say one really quick thing on content that you mentioned, solution based. If you're wanting to get ahead in podcasting, there are 2 very important things. Collaboration is one, but people need to know, and we are learning this.
Yes.
People need to know what they're getting out of listening to you. And that's the same for any time you're speaking, not just podcasting. When you say a speech, you're going to lose people. They don't know what the heck it was my favorite scenes from Malcolm X, where he's like that scene where he's like, you've been had, you've been took, you've been bamboozled. Well, he first starts off, he says, I'm not here to tell you this, and I'm not here to do that. And the crowd, and I'm not here to, and finally somebody in the crowd goes, listen here. Somebody goes, well, tell us what you're here for. People know, why am I here standing outside listening to you?
Yeah.
Is what you're about to deliver to be worth the most valuable thing I have?
Yeah.
Time.
My time.
Is it worth my time?
Yeah.
Can't get it back.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I lost my train of thought, Jay. Messing me up. It's along the lines of content.
It's talking about podcasts.
What was that? Oh yeah. Shut up. I was saying, for those who are want to get started, the key thing when you think of content is to always be real and be authentic. Don't try to jump on a bandwagon. Don't try to be like, well, TikTok is new, the dance moves and all this and that, and entertainment drama, who's dating who and all that. If they hear it all the time on Shade Room and Uncut, they don't. Make yours stick out. How are you going to talk about something different? How are you going to bring
There's more than enough avenues where you can get,
the same thing over and
you know what I'm saying? I've had that suggested to me before, like you should talk about this, you should talk about that, but if it's not solution oriented, then we're not dealing with it.
And Jay does a good job of that for us. He'll be like, so if we do this, what are they gonna get from it? What are we telling them? What are we giving them?
Sometimes I have a eureka moment, like bright idea, and then like and respectfully Jay shut it down because he's like, bro, what are we gonna teach people about that though?
Like he hates doing the relationship stuff. Yeah, it's redundant. We talk about it over and over again. How are we going to bring it differently? How are we going to put a different spin on it? But that's real talk though, because you do hear the same things over and over and over again. Yeah. What we want you to get out of Truth and Chaser is, what did they say? Right. What is something different?
Penis enlargements you hate. What else?
I mean, me and Tim don't hate that. We trying to get somebody on there.
Why would y'all like that? I mean, anyway,
it's interesting.
So our last thing, authenticity. Yes. Shameless plug for authentic contact and intent and a real perspective way to look at what you're going through individually in your own space. Yes. AC Speaks. Check that out. Yeah. Check out that page. That's the pinnacle of authenticity.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And speaking of that, consistency.
Third key, consistency. Yes, absolutely.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
That is tough. Along with consistency, falls in line. We talked before the show, patience. And continuity. That staying power. Just making sure you have your discipline about you. To be able to know this is not a race, but a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like if you gonna be in it, like thinking that, I got the best idea ever, it's gonna pop and I'm gonna be viral tomorrow.
Right.
Listen.
Think again.
Unless you're a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like
I am athlete.
Right. Something like that.
Listen, let me tell y'all something shocking. Now this statistics changes all the time. But as of like as of September 2022, to be in the top, there are over 1 million podcasts published, right? 1.5 million, like worldwide, currently publishing on a regular basis. To be in the top 50%, the top 50% of podcasts average first week downloads, 27 downloads first week. Now you would think it would be some number in the hundreds of thousands.
Right.
So that lays through the continent. So the successful podcasters have told me, and what we learned and what we read is, when it comes to consistency, the most important thing above all things is content. And here at Truth No Chaser, we'll be working harder. We grown.
We
got grown. Ashley travels all around the world for work. Yeah. I travel all around Fulton County.
I travel all around the corner. It's hard, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is hard when you have a full-time job. But the key is,
brothers got kids.
Yeah, when kids, spouses, full-time jobs, you have to make time.
Yeah,
and that includes, like we do every week, conference calls, check-in calls, sending posts each other, whatever, motivating each other, being consistent. Because if you don't, you're forgot about by the next day.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be Truth and Chaser who?
Absolutely.
So that is the important thing, to stay in tune, stay in front of people every single day, because they'll forget about you in a minute.
That's one of my friends. Funny that you said that, because one of my favorite things to hear. Like, hey yo,
we got
wait, where could I because that means people are still looking for that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, good dough sells itself, man.
Spinning a hot fire.
Yes, sir. So what we gonna say in closing? What we doing?
Season 2.
So let's tell them what we just told them.
Yeah.
Branding, 3 keys to podcasting: branding, securing your brand, being matching that content that supports your brand.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Having focused content and being consistent in that content, both in production, how it's focused, who it's focused to, and continuity or consistency as it aligns with your brand.
There you go. There you have it.
And give yourself grace, because it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? You don't come out the gate doing that. Like we've got some years under our belt. But each year we're getting stronger and stronger. And you know what I'm saying? We're being consistent.
Absolutely.
We're devoting time. We're making sure our brand is solid, content driven. So it's, you know, it takes time. You'll get there.
Absolutely. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. All right. So let's
how can they find us?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
let them know, Frank.
That's supposed to be my part.
Oh, that's your part, Jay?
Then Frank come in right after.
Okay, go ahead and drop it.
So
go ahead, drop it, Jay.
If season 2, y'all,
you want to view the visual version of this, please go to our YouTube at youtube.com/The Truth No Chaser. And that's where you can view not only this episode, but our other video content that may not be on our audio platform.
And if you want to support by purchasing some merch, and also, like Jay said, finding some of our other content, you can always follow us at or visit us at thetruthnochaser.com. That's thetruthnochaser.com.
Until next time, keep walking in your truth, Black people.